Farrah is a woman of many talents, wouldn't you say? She's pretty calm most of the time, and she's submissive to her husband. But there's something in Farrah that made Mercedes pay attention to her arts and talents, and she paid attention to her journey as a woman in general. And this is something that landed them both in a position that they can never, ever take back. We all have to admit that Farrah's introduction to Mercedes was far from a traditional one. The only reason that they met in the first place is because Mercedes had a reservation and a big hesitation about going to bed with a married man. Now, would we honestly categorize this move for Mercedes as highly respectable or something that's still strictly forbidden? I guess she figured since his wife already knows about her husband's bedroom antics with other women, she might as well get her permission to free her conscience, right? Or does she want to gain Farrah's respect? And at this very unlikely introduction, there was something inside of their living room that struck a soft spot inside Mercedes that Coach would never be able to compete with, and that was Farrah's artwork. This is artwork that we saw that Mercedes boldly protected. And I say that it struck a soft spot because here we have two very established women with great talents. One has a talent on the pole, while the other expressed the way that she sees the world on a canvas. So their talents don't quite mirror each other, but they're both creatives. They're both women, and they're both using the heck out of Coach. All for that bag. And this is why Farrah called Mercedes a W-H-O-R-E. And Mercedes had to tell her that there was no difference in the way that they're using Coach. She just happens to be married to him, and she's right. And during this particular Mercedes experience that took place on the last episode, Farrah just took over. She didn't hold back, and Coach took offense to that big time. He was pissed. See, he's so caught up in fulfilling his own fantasies that he completely ignored hers. And not only in just this instance, for years he's done this, 19 to be exact. They've been together for a long time, so I can only imagine what it's like to be ignored for so long. And Farrah has everything that money could buy, it seems, all except self-fulfillment and sexual pleasure. And I'm sure that she stopped enjoying being in bed with him like a long time ago. Hence why she's the author of all of those NDAs that he has with women outside of their marriage. Clearly, Farrah is into the same thing that Coach is into. And he took offense to this because he's not able to please Mercedes more than she was. He doesn't even see or understand that they had a connection way before they went into the bedroom. And he was giving it all to Mercedes too, tearing it up. He thought he was doing something. But Mercedes only wants one thing and one thing only from Coach, and that's that $40,000 bag, period. But while she's spending time in that penthouse, she's drawing closer and closer to Farrah, and she even defended her when Coach was yelling at her. And we really have to appreciate how the directors took us directly into that bedroom, right? It was very real, and they were dealing with raw and honest emotions, clearly for the first time. And we could also see that Farrah has never stood up to him in that way, so he didn't know how to take it. And after all, he brought Mercedes into their bedroom for his pleasure, not for Farrah's. And once he suspected that they'd been together without him, he was like a little kid grabbing his marbles from the playground. And going home, he cried and complained the whole way. His little fantasy was now over and his ego was bruised. But where do they go from here? Do y'all think that the Mercedes experience will ever be the same? And will Mercedes ever get her 40 stacks off that coffee table? Drop me your comments and your theories below and let me know what y'all think. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You know I'd appreciate it. And if you're a P-Valley fan, go ahead and sub to the channel because I break down videos like this all the time. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of Ruthless TV, you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.